of man, just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly if your eldest daughter needs a friend. Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on
Dolly Levi! That's right, Mrs. Dolly Levi, born Gallagher. Social introductions. Ladies and gentlemen of excellent families, introduced under the most respectable conditions and in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object, matrimony. Unfortunately, I'm not able to provide my usual lightning services today, as I have an appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband Ephraim Levi always said, that means he's got at least 60,000 cash. But don't worry, I will get you carried across somebody's threshold before the week is out. Now, I might also mention I'm available for financial consultation, instruction on the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one the spinsters recommend. Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
Mrs. Levi.
Mr. Kemper, the artist! You know, I'm somewhat of an artist myself. I do those silhouettes with the black paper and scissors. Here's one of Theodore Roosevelt looking the other way. I do that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes. If we don't get there in
But we
time...
will, Mr. Kemper, and not only will Horace Vandergelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he'll dance at your wedding, and not alone either, for I happen to be engaged and finding him a suitable second wife himself. But he really wants someone stable to clean the house. As my late husband Ephraim Levi always said, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half of New York says he's going to propose to Mrs. Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way to Yonkers this morning, Mr. Kemper, and can take on your case and knock out 4 lovebirds with 1 stone, or whatever I'll throw, I'll see. And what do you think of this? I have nothing to pay my train fare with, only large bills, 5s and 7s.
I have some change here. Someone. I only hope this isn't a wild goose chase, Mrs. Levi.
Speaking of poultry, I'm also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, and pierced ears replayed.
Mrs. Levi!
Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
Tell me, Mrs. Levi, what's in all of this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew. I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture, daffodils, and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a different air, why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. turned a frump to a trump lady fair. See, now he had a consonant, a little bit like Scrooge, but oh, today we swear the Lord himself applied the rouge. I put my hand in here, then I twist a little, stir a little, him a little, her a little, shape a little, mold a little, some poor chuck and sold a little. When I use my fist a little, some young bride gets kissed a little, pressure with the thumb. Matrimony comes when my hand in
Mrs. Levi!
I know, Mr. Kemper, the Yonkers train is ready to leave. Now, you go buy our tickets, get us a window seat, and I'll meet you on board.
Oh!
Ephraim Levi, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money and send it circulating among rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you, sometime today, that you approve. It won't be a marriage in the sense we had one, but I shall certainly make him happy. And I'm tired, Ephraim. Tired of living from hand to mouth. So I want that sign.
Mrs. Levi!
Sometime today. I know, Mr. Kemper. We'll make the train. We'll get to Yonkers and you'll marry Ermengarde.
How?
I don't know, but one thing will lead to another.
Go!
For when my little pinky wiggles, someone made it gets the giggles. Then I make my knuckles act as mine says. She looks attractive. Then I use my index and they won't begin to visit. Then I punch my palm. The preacher reads the psalm when my hand.
Damn! How could I be expected to play Yonkers, my Yonkers, with all that bellowing in my ears?
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to be in love with anybody. Here, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17. In another year, I'll be an old maid.
Well, then I forbid it. Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, and I'll cut you off without a cent. And don't cry from the store.
I can't help it. I'm upset.
Then by thunder, you'll go and weep a while in New York where it won't be noticed. Now go upstairs and start packing your trunk. And don't get the tears in the lock. It was just oil. Cornelius, Barnaby.
Here, Cornelius Hackle!
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
You stamped, Mr. Vandergelder?
I did. I've got news for you both. I'm going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours. Hell and damnation. Mine. What I mean is, I'm getting married again. And in honor of that occasion, I've decided to promote you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Vandergelder?
You're an impertinent fool. That's what you are. And I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any more questions?
Yes.
What?
Does the chief clerk get one evening off a week?
So this is how you thank me for your promotion, is it? No! You'll attend to the store as usual. Now get back to work. And don't forget to put the lid on the sheep dip. Evenings off. Marrying artists? Foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools. And the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish. Then I got married, which was foolish. And I was poor, which was more foolish than anything else. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me. And I became rich, friendless, and mean. which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, I know what you're wondering now. Why would a man with such good sense such as myself decide to get married again? Well, the answer's simple. This house without a woman is an empty shell. And pretty dirty, too. It takes a woman, oh how it joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resin fingers for keeping the ashes. Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. The friend of maiden is constantly there for washing and brewing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weaning the Guernsey and cleaning the stable. Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. Rah, 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 rah. F-E-M-I-T-Y. F-E-M-I-T-Y? Get out of here! And in the winter she'll shovel the ice and lovingly set out to trap the mice. She's the joy and treasure for practically speaking. For whom can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
To that dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman,
A husky woman.
to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
All right, out of here, all of you.
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 congratulations.
What? What?
Congratulations, Mr. Vandergelder. All New York is buzzing with the news that you practically proposed to Irene Malloy. All of the streets are lined with eligible young ladies, prostrate with grief. All my congratulations and sympathies.
Sympathy?
Did I say that? Slip of the tongue, that's all. No, I am delighted by the happy news. After all, she was easy to unload. By that I only mean, you know what people have said about her. Although, I never believed the rumors. No, I didn't.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Vandergelder. According to all known facts of her first husband, she went on quite naturally. It's just she went so suddenly, that's all. A few spoons of the chowder she made special for him, and whoof! But it could happen to anyone. No truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Vandergelder. Eat out.
Now look here, Mrs. Levi, you mean to say that
I
Mrs.
mean
Malloy...
to say no such thing. Just friendly advice. Keep away from the chowder. By the way, she's ordered her wedding gown. Beautiful. You should see it. Black. Oh. Well, as I was saying, congratulations on your upcoming nuptials, and may you rest in... may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Look here, Mrs. Levi, you introduced me to Mrs. Malloy, and rumors or not, I intend on paying a call on her this afternoon, as arranged.
Very well, Mr. Vandergelder. Then there is nothing more for me to do but go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word, heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name? Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely, lovely name.
Picture this, if you will. Hair as shiny as newly minted dime. Eyes as big, round as silver dime. Skin as soft and mossy as old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age 19, weight 102, waist 47.
Waist 47?
That's with the money belt. I could arrange for you to meet this Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I've got to bring my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon, until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
I could do that for you, Mr. Vandergelder. I know how to handle such things.
Then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What an amazing coincidence. Guess who was chosen to ride the main float? The spirit of 14th Street, Miss Money. Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, Mrs. Levi, I'll meet Miss Money at the parade. But I still intend on paying a call on Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh dear, the races you make me run. Very well, Mr. Vandergelder. Then I will meet you outside of Mrs. Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
One more thing, Mrs. Levi. Suppose I decide against Mrs. Malloy and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well, I have one more name on my list. One I know as well as my own. But let's not worry about that now. That'll all come up on its own in good time. But wait until you see Ernestina, Horace. A vision, a dream.
It takes a woman all powdered in pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft blessed fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman. Da 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 da. You know, Ephraim, I think I'm going to have this room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ambrose, Ermengarde, come on down here. Oh. We've got plans to make.
Chief clerk, promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old, and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
You can live on holidays, Cornelius.
Did you forget what we did last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded, and you and I cleaned up the mess all afternoon. You call that living?
No.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
We'll have to. Some more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
Holy cabooses, how do you know?
I'm gonna light this candle under them. That's how I know. They'll make such a smell, customers won't be able to come in here for 24 hours. That'll get us an evening off. We're going to New York, Barnaby, and we are going to live. We're gonna have a good meal, we're gonna be in danger, we're gonna spend our money, we're gonna get arrested.
Holy cabooses.
One more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we each kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old. I've got to begin sometime.
I'm only 17. It isn't so urgent for me.
Barnaby, you might as well know right now that everybody goes through life kissing right and left all the time.
Thanks for telling me that. I've often wondered.
New York, Barnaby, elevated trains, the lights of Broadway, the stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
The stuffed whale, Barnaby. What do you say?
Yes, Cornelius. Yes.
Now, the main thing to show is that you are financially independent. I know I'll get you a job. Can you dance?
I'm an artist, Mrs. Levi. I paint.
Well then, my card.
Mrs. Dolly Levi, painters taught how to dance.
Now, there's a man, Rudolph Reisenweber, down at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant on 14th Street. I'll give you a note and see if he can't have you both entered in tonight's polka competition.
Oh.
The prize is a week's engagement and a solid gold cup. Oh, the cups we want, Ephraim and me.
Hold on a minute, Mrs. Levi. No fiancé of mine is setting foot in a cafe. And I don't mind saying I'm surprised that you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper. Friends, dear friends from days gone by. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, believed in life wherever he could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, every Saturday night, like clockwork, down the stairs of the Harmonia Gardens restaurant we came, Ephraim and me.
It's all very well to come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi, but you're asking Ermengarde to work there.
It's the only way to show Horace Vandergelder we mean business. Now, I want you to go down to the Harmonia Gardens this afternoon and tell them Mrs. Levi sent you. And incidentally, tell Rudolph Dolly's coming back, and I want a table for 2 and a chicken for 8 o'clock tonight. Now come along, Ermengarde, let's get your things.
The bottom row looks all right, Cornelius. Now hold the candle out of the ones on top. Not too close. They're slowed up like they're ready to burst. Cornelius, I can smell it up here.
Let's get dressed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine, full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glistening, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out your brilliantine and dine cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll close the town in a whirl. And we won't come home until we kiss the girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down
Levi. Would you look at that? 10 o'clock, and the shop's not open yet. Oh, it's all because of that impending marriage, I tell you. What marriage? I thought you knew. Why, the marriage that Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Vandegelder, the well-known Yonkers half millionaire, and my employer and friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he will never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace wherever he is, I am not sure. He was a caution, you know. Well, it's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages, and on top of everything else, Miss Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers. Cherries and feathers to catch a bow, I suppose, although, if you ask me, she looked better with a nice heavy veil. Oh, I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye, but she'll have none of it. Cherries and feathers she wants on today of all days when that poor dear sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind. What with what, Minnie? Oh, open the door! It's stuck. It's stuck. Then push. That's all the proof they need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandegelder, or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Mrs. Malloy, wild horses couldn't make me ask this next question I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyhow. Do you love Horace Vandegelder? No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love. And I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love. And it was that. Oh, not Miss Mortimer again. Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it. No, Minnie, you leave it be. You can make Miss Mortimer another hat you like. I'm wearing this one myself. Oh, Mrs. Malloy, you can't. You're a widow, and that hat, it's provocative, that's what. It is, Minnie. Well, who knows who may walk into the shop today? And provocative may be just what I want to be. Mrs. Malloy!
Stream
a breeze might stir, a rainbow behind me, that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he might notice me. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he might notice Look, Minnie, there are two men staring at the shop. Men? Why, I do believe they mean to come in here. Men in the shop? Oh, Mrs. Malloy, what shall we do? Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one. Oh, Mrs. Malloy, with all you talk about love. Love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. Oh, we'll get them all heated up and then drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I think it's terrible the things you were saying today.
Yes, I'm enjoying them myself too. Now you go back to the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances. Besides, a bit of a wait will only make them nervous and easier for us to.
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir, a rainbow behind me, that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
Oh, Barnaby, we'll get an adventure out of this yet. All day long, we wander around New York and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Vandergelter.
Is he still out there?
He's sitting right on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it, all right?
But maybe I wouldn't. I've never had an adventure, Cornelius. You should give me a signal so I'll know. You say, a pudding, and I'll know it's really an adventure.
All right. How much money have you got left?
Not much, Cornelius. 40 cents for the train back, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents. Why?
When those two women come back, we'll pretend to be customers. Customers, that's it. Maybe the best thing to do is make them believe that we're rich. That way, we won't have to spend anything. We're two men about town looking for hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy.
Here, Cornelius Hackle!
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, you see, we're two ladies about town looking for hats to Malloy. We wonder...
We're hats, you see, and we wanted to buy a lady or two to Malloy with.
We want a hat. For a lady, of course. And everybody said go to Mrs. Malloy's because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable, Cornelius, as reasonable as under $1 would still leave us enough to see the whale.
You've got to pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers to see the stuffed whale, and he's all excited. If they keep an eye on that street, Barnaby, maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black with mean little red eyes?
Yes.
It's sitting right on that bench.
Excuse me, Mr. Hackle, but did you say Yonkers?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Yonkers. And forgive me for saying this, but you should see Yonkers. By that I mean, perhaps, Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers, too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby, she's a widow! Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, especially in that hat. On you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't let that worry you. I'd be more than willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you happen to have a Sunday free in the near future, I'd be more than pleased to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
Well, you see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
You might even know of him?
Perhaps we do.
Oh, it's usually foolish to ask in cases like that. It's a Mr. Vandegelder.
Horace? Vandergelder?
Vandergelder's hand feed?
Do you know him?
No! No.
Mr. Vandegelder is a substantial man and well-liked, they tell me.
A lovely man, Mrs. Malloy. Just lovely. Has only one fault as far as I'm concerned. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think.
Now, I wonder if your friend might like this one.
Look out! Beg your pardon, Mrs. Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Help, Mrs. Malloy. We'll explain later.
Oh, come out of there this minute.
We're as innocent as can be, Mrs. Malloy.
Well, really.
Pudding, Cornelius?
Pudding, Barnaby, pudding!
Mr. Hackle. Oh, Mr. Tucker. Mr. Vandegelder.
Mrs. Malloy! I don't suppose Mrs. Levi is here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, I suppose she can come and find me when she does come. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here's a gift for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Did I just see you talking with 2 men?
Men? Men, Mr. Vandegelder? Now, what would men be doing in a lady's hat shop? Now let's go back into the workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
Oh, so you did. Well, Mr. Vandegelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I understand you have 3 friends, all hard as nails. I mean...
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers. Oh, I hear it's a beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Oh, nobody. A friend.
What friend?
Well, you see, he's a customer, Mr. Vandegelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. You might even know of him, although it's usually silly to ask in cases like that. It's, Cornelius Hackle.
Did you say Hackle?
Well, yes.
He happens to be my head clerk is all. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'll give it to you. Why, shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's here at the opera and all the fashionable homes. Why, he's at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's only got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The
Panama.
The Para. Both.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses out of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the 5th Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Astor's? Well, I can't say, but it was Cornelius. He's the playboy of New York.
Really, Dolly?
Now Irene, don't deny it. You were taken with him just like everyone else.
What are you saying, Dolly? I've only seen him once in my life.
Excuse me.
Of course.
Oh, thank you.
Minnie, hold your tongue.
hides in ladies' closets can frighten me, Mrs. Levi. Will you stand aside?
No, man, indeed. I'm sure you'd make short of any man. Those muscles, I can see them rippling back and forth under your coat right now. Ripple, 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 back and forth. Ripple!
For the last time, Mrs. Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder, and that is exactly what the courts will want to know when you are accused of entering this closet without a warrant. I mean, if you don't stand for the law of this great land, what do you stand for? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a whole bunch of orphans. Take off your hat, sir, that's your office flag is flying. Do you see him on that Gettysburg? He's the great friend of war. You see him as he's traveling through a great song.
This not affected you, sir. I came here at 14 years of age as an immigrant girl from the land that oppressed my people, and I echo here what was said by that great and patriotic American,
Moses!
I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot bunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's tears streaming across the room. You see him on the platform. Near that great triumphal arch. If you hear them singing, see the sugar cane. Stand up and march, march, march. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot bunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's the Osage flag is rising. You see him on the Gettysburg.
I see
He's the
him.
great triumphal
Now,
arch.
Stonewall Jackson,
Stand up and march, march. 7 years ago. March, march. To form a more perfect union. March, march.
Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead!
March, march, march.
Now you see, Mr. Vandergelder, there couldn't possibly be a man in that closet.
A two.
God bless you.
Mrs. Malloy!
All right, Mr. Vandergelder. There is a man in that closet.
Aha!
And another one under the table.
What the devil?
And there also happens to be a very reasonable little explanation. But for this afternoon, good afternoon.
The whole room's crawling with men. Let me get over it. I take it I'll see you later this afternoon, Mr. Vandergelder.
You certainly will, Mrs. Levi, with a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy. I shan't bother you again, and vice versa.
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain everything.
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just that you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop immediately, or I'll send for Officer Gogarty.
Now, Irene, if you ask me, calling in officers and letting them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. I've been adding up the offenses these two have committed, and you've got grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos mentis, and garnishee. Now, the main thing to show is that we tried to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It is how things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishes afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss May and myself to dinner.
Delighted, Mrs. Malloy. I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I've heard there's a very nice restaurant in the railroad station.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Garden is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. They say they have a lovely orchestra there, Nenny.
We couldn't possibly go there. Now, don't misunderstand me. It isn't money or anything. It's the whale. It's the whale. No, it isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. Dancing. They have dancing in a place like this. Exhibitions, even contests, and I don't know how. And it would take me weeks, months, years to learn. Mrs. Dolly Levi teaches 33-year-old chief clerk to dance.
One hand here, one hand here.
It's no use. I've absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely no sense of rhythm is one of the primary requirements to learn by the Gallagher-Levi method. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Hackle, and I'll have you dancing in the streets. Now let's start with lesson 7, the waltz, kick, turn. Very simple. Step, touch, out, in, and down, release. Woo! That was wonderful. But I think of the women who will find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1. Put your hand on your waist and stand. Then place your right hand and your left hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look! I'm dancing! Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take the someone whose arms you're in. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow! I'm dancing!
Turn around and turn around. Try floating through the air. Can't you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has some punch and a flair?
The word I think I use is athletic.
My heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? Look, everybody, I'm Cornelius Michael Sports and dancing!
You're next, Mr. Tucker. Glide and step and then step and glide. And everyone stand aside.
Wow, he's dancing!
You could learn to polka if you were doing your so.
kicks in my back, jabs in my side, stabs in my liver. I'm fine. My daughter Benny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago last September. It's been a long time since you've been here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
Ephraim, let me go. It's been long enough, Ephraim. Every night for all these years, I've put out the cat, I locked the door, made myself a little rum toddy. Then before bed, I said a prayer, thanking God that I was independent and that nobody else's life was mixed up with mine. Then one day, an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I placed it there when you asked me to marry you, Ephraim. A perfectly good oak leaf, but now without color and without life. And I realized I was like that oak leaf. For years, I've not shed one tear, nor been filled with the wonderful hope that something or another might turn out well. So, I've decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. For the parade passes by, I'm gonna get in step while there's still time left. Before the parade passes by.
Miss Levi, come along. Cornelius is taking us down to see the 14th Street Parade. Everybody will be marching.
Why, Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is full of such wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some life back into my life. Ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life. With the rest of them, the best of them, I'm gonna hold my head up high. For I've gotta go again, I've gotta drive again. I'm gonna feel my heart coming alive again. Before the parade passes by. That crowd over there, listen and
everything you said and more. Don't move, Miss Money. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Hey! Cut that out! That's my fiancé! Stop! Thief! Pickpocket! Put that back, you! I paid for that girl and I want all the parts! Miss Money, what have they done to you? Mrs. Levi, what's the meaning of this?
Nothing to get upset about, Horace. Just a last-minute substitution, that's all. Miss Money had a sudden urgent business appointment come up at the Mint. They ran short and she's helping out. But she'll meet you at the Harmonia Gardens tonight at 8.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
That's why I'm glad you suggested it. Now, I might be a little late, but she'll meet you in front of the restaurant and wait until you see her, all in pumpkin gold, singing an old-fashioned tune. Yes, sweet Rosie O'Grady. You couldn't miss her if you tried.
I'll go, Dolly. But only because I already paid for the introduction, and I might as well get my money's worth. But from this point on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? From now on, Dolly Gallagher, you're just a woman, like anyone else. Whoa. Where are you taking me? What's happening?
Ephraim, he's as good as mine. I'm gonna raise the roof. I'm gonna carry on. Me an old trombone, me an old baton, the parade.
Now, don't misunderstand me. It isn't money or anything. It's just that nowadays, very elegant people don't take hacks.
Hacks is out.
They all go by streetcar.
J.P. Vanderbilt, Diamond Jim Morgan.
Then by all means, a streetcar. Oh, imagine. I've been elegant my whole life and never even knew it.
Of course, if you really want to be elegant.
We do!
You walk.
Yes, New York.
It's really us, Barnaby and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular. What a knack there is to that, acting like a born aristocrat. We've got gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Of course we are. Barnaby? Mrs. Malloy.
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
Mrs. Malloy, as we start inside,
Yes, Mr. Hackle.
may I put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
I don't want to dance. I just want to get married.
You heard Mrs. Levi. This is the only way to show your uncle we mean business. Now, if you could weep a little faster, you're throwing me off step. Oh, there! That's it!
Sweet Rosie O'Grady, my sweet little
And it is my orders, head waiter of the Harmonia Gardens, and your supreme commander, that tonight of all nights, our usual lightning service will be twice as lightning as ever. Or else. I trust you'll find this dining room satisfactory, sir. The private dining rooms do cost a bit more, but they do afford the best view of the entertainment.
$1.40, Cornelius, that's all that's left.
Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best-known sports.
I did make a mistake, Cornelius. It's only $1.35. I'll count it once more.
No, don't. We can't afford it.
I'm going to order everything off the menu. Waiter!
I have told you before, sir, this table is reserved for Mrs. Levi and party.
And who do you think I am? Only it's Horace Vandergelder and party. She's at my party. I ain't hers.
Yeah?
Mr. Vandergelder, of course, it's just no one mentioned you bringing your
My personal physician. That's enough rouge, Doctor.
But Mrs. Levi only ordered a chicken for two.
Chicken. Chickens are dear.
Un pâté maison, something short, poum soufflés.
Why didn't you tell me this was a Chinese restaurant? We'll take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out. Now, Miss Money, I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt.
Yeah, $2. Only it's in my garter.
It's sweet of you to worry about our reputations, Cornelius. But Minnie and I don't care who sees us out tonight. Well, Minnie, what have you decided?
Oh, I couldn't have anything at these prices. I really couldn't.
Great grindstones, a sensible girl. Waiter, bring us 4 glasses of beer, a loaf of yesterday's bread, and some cheese.
Yesterday's bread? Oh, Cornelius, now I know how you keep half of New York up in stitches all the time. Minnie, have you ever eaten pheasant?
Pheasant?
Say, why the closed curtain? You ashamed or something?
It's not that. I just felt a slight chill.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Here, I'll loan you this. There you go. Nice. There we go. All right. Now, let's order something to hold us till the rice comes. Waiter, will you bring us a roast suckling pig with Chester and oyster stuffing, cheese fondue, and some lady fingers? Now, what'll you have? Hey, you! What are you doing after the show tonight? It's sweet of you to worry about our digestion, Cornelius, but I'm sure the pheasants are fresh. We'll take 4, please. Oh, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute. No wine.
No wine?
Champagne!
Champagne!
It's once in a lifetime, Barnaby. Champagne, and Neapolitan ice cream, and hothouse peaches, and Barnaby, give the band leader a nickel and tell him to play To a Wild Rose. We want music while we dine.
Say, this is a cafe, isn't it? Let's dance.
The Vandergelders do not dance, Miss Bunny. We're Presbyterian.
Fine, I'll dance by myself then. Give him $2 for the band leader and tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie.
All right, Cornelius, I'll send for the band leader, but promise you won't order anything else.
You wait here, Miss Bunny. I'm going to tell them to play a nice waltz. Look here, you. Give this to the band leader and tell him to play a waltz.
Here's a nickel for the band leader. Would you tell him to play a...
Whoopee!
Miss Bunny!
And 2 more pheasants, please!
Cornelius!
My purse!
My wallet!
Look, you got my purse. Miss Bunny, get off the table! You're dancing in the stew!
Excuse me, but that's my wallet. I know it's mine because there's nothing in it but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies. Cornelius. Cornelius! Did he say 2 pheasants? 3? 4? Pheasants for the house. And never mind if we don't see the whale. All by my own! Yay!
Sir. What's this? Shouting? How many times have I told you not to shout, boy? This is the Amaya Gardens restaurant, not some sort of a...
Sir, she's here. The lady.
She is? Are you sure?
Like you said, at 8 o'clock on the nose, a carriage pulls up and out steps a tall, beautiful lady with the biggest hair I ever saw.
Ah, she's here! Mrs. Levi is back!
Is it true? I heard somebody laughing outside the kitchen window and it sounded like...
It is! It's Mrs. Levi! Fred! Tell the man! She's pulled out of her carriage!
Rudolph, it's true, no?
It is! It's true! She's pulled out of a white and gold carriage pulled by 6 black horses and scarlet blues! Oh, everyone calm down! Calm down! I'm going to calm down! Calm down! What?
She's here.
Hello, Harry. Well, hello. the roof swaying for the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap, fellas, dial never go away.
Excuse me, girlie. Dolly! Dolly Gallagher? What are you doing in that getup? And you're a half hour late. And I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina!
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie coochie.
Well, she was always artistic. Horace, I'm going to have our table moved down front. There's someone in the dance competition I particularly want you to see. Let's not say another word about it. I'm as shocked as you are. I can't eat a thing. Oh, thank you. What have you ordered?
What you wanted, the chicken. Now see here, Mrs. Levi, about this hoochie coochie girl.
Did you say chicken? I don't think I can face a chicken. Not tonight, not after what's happened.
Good, then cancel the chicken.
And bring us a turkey.
What are you doing now?
Nothing. Looking the place over, getting acquainted with my surroundings.
That's the trouble with you, Mrs. Levi. Always needing to know everything. Always poking your nose around into other people's affairs. Anybody who married you would get as nervous as a cat.
What? What is that you're saying?
I said anybody who married you
Horace
would...
Vandergelder, get that idea right out of your head this minute. I'm surprised you would mention such a thing. Understand once and for all that I have no intention of marrying you.
I didn't mean that.
I certainly hope not, Horace Vandergelder. You go your way. I'll go mine. I am not some Irene Malloy whose head can be easily turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. Why, the idea of mentioning such a thing.
Mrs. Levi, you misunderstood me.
Well, I certainly hope not. But if I were to remarry, it would be to a far more pleasure-loving man than you. But let's not say another word about it. Here comes the waiter with our food. Oh. Thank you. I'll serve Mr. Vandergelder Rudolph. Here is some white meat for you. Oh. And some dumplings, lighter than air they are. And some giblets, very tender and very good. Now, as I was saying, Horace, you go your way. I'll go mine. Start right in on the wine. It'll make you feel better at once. But since you brought the matter up, there's one more thing I ought to say.
I didn't bring the matter up at all.
One more thing I'm going to say before we forget all about it. It's true. I'm a woman who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things, but I would not like to manage anything as out of control as your household. You'll have to do that yourself, God helping you.
It's not out of control.
Very well, let's not say anything about it. Have some beets, Horace. They're good.
I don't like beets.
Oh, that's nice. No, Horace, a complaining, quarrelsome, friendless soul like yourself is no companion for me. You salt your beets, I'll salt mine.
Will you stop saying that?
I won't say another word.
Good.
Except this, at your age, Horace, you should really enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age. You're always talking about my age.
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know. In Yonkers, with bad food and a bad temper, you'll double it in 6 months. Have some beets, they're good.
I don't like beets. I hate beets.
Oh, that's good. Yes, the pity of it is you could be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are. Look at you now. You can't hide it. Now, sit down. Let's talk of something else. But before we change the subject, there is one more thing I'm going to say.
I don't want to hear it. And you're wasting your time, Dolly Levi. I won't ask you to marry me.
Well, I suppose that means you want me to ask you. Well, I am sorry, Horace. I am turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't asked you anything?
It's no use arguing. I've made up your mind. Here, let me
I've got a headache. I'm going back to my hotel.
You can't leave now. The dance competition's about to begin.
Here's the money for the dinner. Here's $20. Wait a minute. There's nothing in here but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse.
Barnaby, that purse you found?
I can't imagine you without your purse.
It's Vandergelders. Cornelius, we better get out of here.
What am I going to do? I've never been here before, and they don't know me. Stop eating that. I can't pay for it.
Horace, it's the latest thing. A polka. And there's one dancer I particularly want you to sit down.
it is, sir.
Isn't he wonderful? Oh, talent like that, be sure to win the solid gold cup.
Come along, Mrs. Malloy. It's been a perfectly wonderful evening, and I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut it a little bit. Excuse me, short.
Look, Minnie, a polka. Oh, Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
The Vandergelder's right there. We gotta go.
We will go, but we'll dance our way out.
Cornelius Hackle!
Mr. Vandergelder.
Barnaby Tucker!
Mr. Vandergelder?
Ermengarde! Dolly Levi, this is your doing. What are you up to?
Mr. Vandergelder, I can explain everything.
I don't want to hear your explanations. You're fired!
Officers! Arrest that man! All right, we're all under arrest.
Oh.
Arrest them all. All of them.
I'm sorry.
Get off me! Ow! Go for it! Ermengarde, stop it! Emily!
Quiet, quiet! That's better. Now, you're all charged with disturbing the peace, assault and battery, inciting to riots, and many other very serious violations of the law of this city. Now, is there someone here to speak on your behalf? I said, is there someone here to speak on your behalf? What's this? Mrs. Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
The defense rests. I ask for freedom for my clients and a verdict of guilty for the only real culprit here, Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly!
The one man responsible for these grievous charges of willful destruction of private property.
A curtain torn. A waiter bruised.
A solid gold cup bent. Yeah.
Cruelty to a poor, unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that, dear?
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Levi, but if it pleases the court, I have something to say.
I was just about to call on you. Go right ahead, Mr. Hackle.
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
You've already done that, Mr. Vandergelder.
I'll do it again.
You've done that too. But even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. Your Honor, I don't know much about disturbing the peace or inciting a riot, but I do know that what happened to me today is the most important thing that could happen to a man, and I don't think it would have happened if I obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I'm talking about none other than love.
What? You mean to tell me that after 33 years, you've fallen in love because you take one evening off?
No, Mr. Vandergelder. I didn't fall in love with Mrs. Irene Malloy in this city in just an evening. An hour. Even that's too long. What's less than a minute?
A second?
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. I'll go slowly so you can get it all down. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart wants in a moment. You will sat cooped up in Yonkers, New York for years and years, and all the time, wonderful people like Mrs. Irene Malloy walked around New York, and I didn't know them at all. I don't know whether you can all see from where you're sitting. Well, for instance, the way her eye, forehead, and cheek come to me up here. See? I tell you, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you like about the pyramids and Niagara Falls. They aren't in it at all. Of course, I've seen a woman before, but today I talked to one equal to equal. They're so different from men. And they're awfully mysterious, too. I bet you can know a woman 100 years and never know for sure whether she liked you or not. Today I've lost so many things. My job, my future, all things that people consider to be important, but I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
Excuse me, Mr. Hackle. I apologize, but you lost me a few words back. Right after it only?
Takes a moment, but his arms were short and strong. It only takes a moment.
He held me for an instant, but his arms felt safe and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long.
That is all that love's about.
We'll recall when time runs out
That it only took a moment to be loved a whole life long.
Dismissed! Dismissed! All dismissed! Except for Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York. They're all dismissed! Get rid of my children! Go! Go!
Can you answer the prisoner, Miss Levi?
Well, Horace, that's your life. Without niece, without clerk, without bride, without purse. I guess there's only one thing left to say.
If it's to ask me to marry you, Dolly Gallagher, never. Not in a million years. Under no circumstances will I ever marry you.
Oh, Horace, that wasn't it at all. All I was going to say is goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
Now hold on.
Don't try to stop me, Horace, please. Wave your little hand at Mr. So One Theory. You ain't gotta see me anymore. But when you discover that your life is dreary, don't you come a-knocking on my door. For I'll be all done out there thinking that some possessed dog might hold the door. So wave your little hand and whisper, so long, dearie, dearie,
Levi. Not if you were the last woman on earth. Not if you asked me a million times. I didn't need you before, and I don't need you now. Dolly, Levi, you go your way, and I'll go mine. Dolly? 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 Oh, come crawling back, have you?
No, Mr. Vandergelder. I came to collect my $146.35. You see, I decided to go into business for myself, and since hay and feed is all that I know, I'm opening my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Vandergelder, right across the street from you.
So, you think you can compete with Vandergelders, do ya? Well, just you try. Another one come crawling, is it? What do you want?
My back salary for the past 4 months, $6.12.
You can't do that to me, any of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll get lawyers. I'll...
Why, Horace Vandergelder, as I live and breathe, if you are not handsome in last night's outfit.
Dolly Gallagher.
I know just what you're about to say, Horace. You're not pleased with Ernestina. Well, I have another girl for you, the ideal wife. But don't let me interrupt you. You were doing something. What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.
And 35 cents.
Plus $6.
And 12 cents. And the money my mama gave me? $52.48.
38.
48.
All right. If it's money you want, the safe is in there.
Money. Mr. Vandergelder's money. It's the sun we walk under. It can kill or cure. Vandergelder's never tired of saying that most people of the world are fools. And in a way, he's right, isn't he? Himself, Irene, Cornelius, myself. Yes, we are all fools, and we are all in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But the surest way to keep us out of harm is to give us the 4 or 5 human pleasures that are our right in this world. That takes a little money. Now, the difference between a little money and no money at all is enormous and can shatter the world. And the difference between a little money and an enormous amount of money is very slight. And that can shatter the world too. It's all in how you use it. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, used to say, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. Well, that's just the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder, which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign. As I was saying, Horace, I have found you the ideal wife.
Dolly Gallagher, I don't want you to find me the ideal wives. If I wanted an ideal wife, I would have found her. And I found her. And it's you. Damn it!
Why, Horace?
I know I've been a fool about Mrs. Malloy and that other woman. But, Dolly, forgive me and marry me?
Horace, stop right there.
What do you mean?
You know as well as I do that you are the first citizen of Yonkers, and that means your wife would have to be a credit to you. Answer me, am I a credit to you?
You are. Wonderful woman.
No, you're partial. It won't be enough for you to load your wife in money and jewels to make her a benefactress of half the town. By the way, I found your wallet.
Dolly.
I don't know how I do it. Whew. I surprise myself sometimes. Take it. Money walks out of my hands.
Keep it, Dolly. Keep it.
Why, Horace Vandergelder, I never thought I'd hear you say something like that. By the way, it's bad for business letting Cornelius open up a store right across the street. Better take him back and make him your partner.
Partner?
And Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Now see here,
That
Dolly.
way, we can all be together and we can all dance at Ermengarde's wedding.
That does it. You've gone too far, Dolly. I'll dance at no weddings. Besides, I don't know how. It would take me weeks, months, years. All right, I'll dance. Ah, good. Right through there.
Horace Vandergelder, what is going on in there?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I'd do that front room over in blue wallpaper.
Horace.
I know the old paper ain't run out yet, but the fella's just started a business, and he needs a good start. You see, Dolly, I've always felt that money, pardon my expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless...
Thank you, Ephraim.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you, Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that, was awfully wrong.
Here's my hat, Horace. I'm staying where I'm at. Horace, Dolly will never go away
Wonderful woman.
again.